Hello golfers, Jess Frank coming to you from the Jess Frank Golf Academy YouTube channel here at the beautiful Deer Creek Golf Club. Thank you so much for watching and tuning in. So after Masters week, Hideki Matsuyama winning the Masters by one shot. Pretty amazing golf tournament. What a beautiful course. If you have a chance to be, if you ever had a chance to gone there, you know, it's just a special place. So, but Hideki, amazing golf swing, big high draws, hitting the ball far, maximizing all the arcs, maximizing all the tilts, doing what he's doing the best. And I'm going to show you a little bit of what Hideki was doing that was helping him hit the ball so high and so far. And so the first thing that I always talk about is his body and the way his body was moving. So if I took my arms away and I took Hideki's arms away and I tilted forwards into a setup, he's going into a left side bend as he goes back, and then a right side bend, a right tilt. So I'm going left tilt, right tilt as he starts to swing the club. And so when he starts to swing the club, he's got a lot of tilt leftwards. His hands go up and around him, and then on the way down, he's coming back. His head stays very centered, swinging through, right tilt, and up and around. And so he was doing that just beautifully this week, and also short game and putting obviously plays a big part as well, but he didn't make any major mistakes with his ball striking because of this, and he's been a great player for a very long time, been a really great champion you know, around the world. And so what I'd like to talk to you today is about, you know, Hideki takes that club, not only is he tilting and extending his body, but he's also doing some things with his wrists, both his left wrist and his right wrist, to help make the golf club go all around his body with what we like to call, in stack and tilt, additive arcs. So lots of extra arcs. So an arc with his left wrist is going up and down. So that's an arc right there. His right wrist is going around and going back and forth this way. So that's his left wrist, or his right wrist going back. He's also adding an arc with his right arm and how his right arm goes up and down here. So he's combining all those extending, tilting, and turning, along with adding all the extra arcs, and that's how he's hitting the ball so high and so far and just so beautifully when he's doing it. So when he takes the club back, okay, he's adding this left wrist up and down motion, an additive arc with his wrist. So you can see how that hinging up and down with his left wrist makes the club go up. The problem that most amateurs do is when they do that, they twist the face open. So when Hideki takes it back, his club face remains closed to the shaft. So he's moving that club up and down. He's not all of a sudden taking it back and opening the face. And that's what gets a lot of people in trouble with trying to add extra wrist hinge, is that they're hinging their wrist, but they're also opening the face. Sometimes what happens too is that most golfers have a grip that's too high in the palm. So we're going to add the additive arcs with the left wrist hinge. Okay, we're going to add the right wrist hinge, which I just did a video, my last video I talked about the right wrist, how to control the right wrist, but today I want to focus really on the left wrist, how the left wrist bends up and down, how it gives you that additive arc, how it also helps get the club in the air. So I'm not just taking the club back with no wrist hinge, my right wrist staying flat. Remember, I've got some, if you look at Hideki on his way back, he gets that club into this, what we like to call P3 position in his backswing, but then he's able to take it all the way up and around because of understanding how his body tilts and extends back, and his left arm goes all the way up and around his body. So by understanding how that left wrist works up and down, hinging up and down without opening the face, that will allow you to add the additive arc. And so not only are you doing that from P3, but I also like going to P9, so I'm also adding the extra additive arc right through the shot too. So you can see this here. That's how he gets the ball in the air so high. So he's adding this, as he's going through, he's adding this additive arc on the front side too. So not only does he have wrist hinge with the left wrist on the backswing, but he also has wrist hinge on the front side of the swing as well. And so that if you want to hit the ball super high, I highly recommend you adding this little action with your wrist up and down here on this side as well. So if I'm going to go ahead and hit that shot, so I'm going to go do a little Hideki here. So P3 to P9, working on the left wrist, understanding the right wrist and how the right wrist works back as well. But this video is all left wrist here. So I hit that ball really high, actually, super high, pretty far too. That was a decent 7-iron right there, so pretty solid. But I hit that ball. If I want to hit that ball really high like Hideki, and I want to, you know, if I'm playing Augusta, God willing, one day I get to play Augusta National. But if I'm playing any course, I need to hit it high. That's what I'm adding. I'm adding that additive arc on the front side. I'm not just kind of leaving my arms completely straight. So if I want to hit the ball high, that's how you're going to do it. You're going to allow that left wrist, as it's coming through, to rehinge on the front side. That's going to hit the ball super high in the air. So I'll try that again. So I'm going to do Hideki, backswing, the left wrist, P3, even go to P4, and do Hideki on the front side. And I'm going to launch that ball up in the air. As I'm also, remember, I'm also tilting, extending, tilting, and turning on both sides. Wow. So I know why Hideki won the Masters, because I just launched that thing way to the moon, really high. So I'm going to take you back here so you can see that on the back side as well down the line. And you'll start to understand and see that motion there. So you guys can see that here. So again, we're going to launch that ball really high in the air. Smooth this out a little bit. There we go. Beautiful. So I'm going to launch that ball super high in the air. I'm going to allow this left wrist hinge on the backswing, and I'm going to allow the left rehinge on the follow through. So I'm going to call this is technical terms, radial deviation. So I'm radial deviating up. So I'm going up this way. So I'm going to try that again. I'm going to do Hideki, extend, tilt, and turn on the backswing with the P4. And then right up to P9 on the follow through. Ooh, man, I'm going to add this to my game because this is really good. So I'm hitting it super high, really straight too. Slight little draw, but super high, launched it way up in the air. And what I love about this, these strikes are in the center of the face. So that's what we want. That's what we want. So again, when I'm talking about the left wrist. Okay, the left wrist is super important, super important for you to understand, and how the left wrist works up and down. So it works on, here we go, left wrist. But just make sure when you're doing the left wrist that you just make sure that this club face does not open to the shaft. Very important not to open the face to the shaft. Okay, because you could be slicing that ball or leaving it to the right all day long out there. So you got to be careful when you go back. You got to take your time. If you're not used to hinging your wrist and making, or especially the left wrist, hinging the left wrist, you have to understand that. Also, watch my video previous to this about the right wrist, how the right wrist helps to keep the face closed. But you just got to be careful, because sometimes you could even open it when you have the right hand on there. You got to be careful of that. So just a warning for all you guys out there who try my videos, but I know you have a lot of success out there. I know you've been playing really well. I've been getting some great notes, so thank you so much for that. I really appreciate you watching the video. So if you really like this video and you loved about this left wrist and understanding the left wrist, how the left arm works around your body now, just a bonus tip for you before we go. Additive arc. So you got the additive arc of the left wrist going up and down. There's an arc here. So that's an arc. Okay. There's some power in there. A lot of power, actually, if you understand how to use it correctly. Okay. As you come back through. So as you come back through, you can see there's a lot of power going through that left wrist. So that's a lot of cracking of the whip. I talked about that in another video. Probably, I think it's the first video here on my channel. As you go up this way, that helps you crack the whip as well. That adds speed out into the club head. you actually start to transfer momentum to the club head when you start adding the additive arcs here. So right out here, out to the club head. So you're sending out some power there. You're sending out a lot of power. So what it also does is allows the left arm to work up and around your body. Okay, and then as you come down, you'll find that you'll start to produce some decent lag here without trying to lag it. And then from there, you're cracking the whip and allowing it to hinge up on the other side. So hopefully this helps you. I want you guys to play better golf. That's what I'm doing these videos for. So thank you so much for watching. If you really like this video, go ahead, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, leave a comment. Let me know how you like this video. Again, thank you so much for everything, and we'll see you soon.